We're going to do an analysis on the body language of Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. Let's begin.
Tommy, next fella wants to see Bosie.
Do you know his face?
No, he's Chinese.
Chinese in our pub. So. All right. Slowly, Mickey, let him in.
Fellas, there are a number of both good things that you should emulate and bad things that you should not do, right? The good things are going to make you appear more high ranking, more dominant, more high status, more calm, more cool, more confident, and more attractive to women. But the bad things are going to make you be perceived as what we typically call a beta male, right? A low ranking male. They're also going to kill all attraction. Let me walk you through them now.
To see Bosie.
Do you know his face?
No, he's Chinese.
Fellas, the first thing I want to point out to you is how Tommy uses his attention. This is how high-ranking men give their attention. Now, human beings in general, they give attention through eye contact. High-ranking men tend to give more attention when they're speaking, so they will look at people when they speak, but when people speak at them, they will look away or they will give less attention. Why? This signals that when I speak, you listen, you give me attention. But when you speak at me, you have to earn my attention. This is typical high status male behavior. The second thing.
Chinese in our pub.
I want you to watch Tommy's movement here and notice how strange this is for him. This is something you do not want to replicate.
So. All right. Slowly, Mickey, let him in. Three little birds, eh? Tommy.
So fellas, in the space of a few seconds, Tommy has turned around once, turned around again, put his hands in his pocket and turned around again, and is constantly pacing back and forth. Tommy has aura. Tommy appears the way he does. Women are magnetized to Tommy because of this single trait. He is usually still. He is usually unmoving. When you are still and you do not fidget and you stay in one position, this causes people to perceive you as cool, calm, and confident. Whereas in this scenario, Tommy is fidgeting, moving all over the place. When you fidget and move like this, when you pace back and forth, this is going to make people think you're fearful, you're anxious, you're scared, or you're irritated, right? These are none of the things you want to come across as, right? So do not do this.
Finn and Arthur.
Mr. Thomas. Mr. Arthur.
I want you to pay attention to what Chang does here. Chang is using what we call here 3 classic submission signals. Now, these are things you do not want to emulate. And a lot of you guys watching will probably be doing these things. And it's causing men to not respect you. It's causing women to lose attraction to you. Let me show you them. So notice, Chang looks at Arthur in the eyes, right? Now watch what he does.
Mr. Arthur.
He breaks attention downwards, right? He breaks his eye contact downwards. He moves his head downwards to protect his neck, and he makes himself physically smaller, right? These are all classic submission signals. What these signal to other men and women is that you are above me. When you do these body language cues, it causes other people to think they are higher ranking than you. They are more dominant than you. As a rule, fellas, you want to use these very rarely. In certain circumstances, submission signals are beneficial to use as long as it is a platonic interaction, as long as it's not anything to do with attraction or mating or sexual interaction. If you're in an interaction with a woman or you're on a date or anything like that, you never, ever, ever want to use submission signals. And I'm going to show you some more that you're probably doing later in the video.
Arthur. My name is Brilliant Chang.
Brilliant Chang is dead.
Now, this is fucking brilliant from Chang. This is so good. Right, so he's just entered the room and he's used some submission signals. Right, that's strange. He's then walked in without their permission and sat in their seat, right, in their pub. He's leaned back in his chair. He's placed his belongings, right, away from his body. These are all highly confident, highly masculine, highly dominant behaviors, right? His head is held high. He's exposing his neck, right? He's leaned back. He's making himself at home. Watch the clip.
My name is Brilliant Chang.
This is excellent, right? Watch this again.
My name is Brilliant Chang.
When he speaks, he gives strong eye contact. The way he speaks is also incredibly powerful. He's using high status vocal tonality, right? He's not in a rush. He's completely calm. Then, when he stops speaking, he breaks the tension downwards.
Brilliant Chang is dead.
Perhaps.
Again, he wasn't looking at them for a second there, right? This is excellent. He's limiting his attention. He's signaling to them, you have to earn my attention.
Sometimes I wonder, is this heaven? Doesn't smell like heaven.
Fellas, I want you to rewatch how he places his glove on the table.
Doesn't smell like heaven.
This is what I call slow, smooth movement. You saw how deliberate, how controlled that was. When you move in this way, slow, smooth, controlled, deliberate, this is what makes you look extremely attractive. Slow movement is inherently a trait we associate with high status, dominant men. Chang behaving in this way, this is how you make other people say that you have aura. Right, and I'm going to give you some of the other good body language tactics he uses in a minute.
So I would say I have survived.
Now, I want you to look at Tommy, I want you to look at Arthur. Again, Arthur, he's moving back and forth, whereas Tommy, completely unreactive. No emotional expression, nothing, no reaction. He looks completely fearless. The only improvement I'd suggest, fellas, is the hands in the pockets. You generally want to keep your hands out of your pockets because hands in pockets is a classic nervousness. People also associate with deceit and lying. It just doesn't look great. Sometimes it's fine. One hand in the pocket is fine, but generally keep your hands out your pockets. But other than this is great. Right? Completely calm, completely relaxed, no emotional reaction. This is how men behave.
What happened to Maggie?
You don't
Let's
like
skip
me.
this shit.
I like fucking everything.
And again, fellas, I want you to look at both of their body language now. This is pretty key, right? Both of them, head held high. They're exposing their neck. This is a classic confidence cue. The second thing I want you to pay attention to is look how Tommy is sitting. He's leaning back. Fellas, as a rule, you never want to lean forward. Why? It makes other people perceive you as needy, as that you've got your attention. Why is that important? Because you look you're boring to them now. There's no challenge. Whereas when you lean back, you signal to other people you have to work for my attention. It does not come for free. You look aloof. You look like you have aura, right? It looks like other people are chasing you.
You should answer the phone, Mr. Shelby.
No, that was pretty good from Chang. Very subtle movement, strong eye contact. Obviously, his eyes are a bit closed here. His vocal tonality is also excellent. He's issuing a command. He finishes sentences with a downwards intonation, which is highly dominant behavior. This is also fucking brilliant from Tommy. Let's rewatch this. So the phone's rung.
You should answer the phone, Mr. Shelby.
Eight seconds have passed and there is zero movement from Tommy. Strong eye contact, no movement, completely unreactive. This is how high-ranking men behave. When you are unreactive, fellas, when you don't fidget, when you don't move, first of all, you're going to look extremely dominant. Second of all, you're going to look extremely high-ranking. But third of all, you're going to look like you have emotional mastery. Now, emotional mastery, fellas, is one of the most attractive traits to women that you can possibly have. And you're going to display that. People are going to think that about you when you have unmoving body language, when you are still.
Mickey, bring that phone here now.
Look,
Arthur!
I sent a woman with a gun to your youngest brother's office.
All right.
Now, fellas, this isn't great from Tommy here. This having your mouth open like this, when people do this, especially in a scenario like this, it's because they're intaking large amounts of oxygen in through their mouth because they're stressed. They open their mouth to get more oxygen in because now they've entered fight, flight, freeze mode, right? This is, again, going to make you look nervous, going to make you look agitated. This isn't great from Tommy here.
Boyfriend.
Wait. What the fuck is going on?
This is good from Tommy. Now, you see the subtle lip lick here. This is what we call a self-soothing behavior, right? We do this when we're nervous, when we're agitated, when we're extremely aroused, right, to calm ourselves down. But Tommy likes this. This is funny. The smirk is exactly what I do here. It's going to make you look completely calm, sort of arrogant, on the offensive.
Do you want to die again, Chang?
And look at Chang taking his time to respond, completely unreactive. Again, this is a high status trait.
Good. The guns are pointed. Now we are all concentrating.
Fellas, Chang has not fidgeted once since he sat down. Great behavior you want to emulate.
The moment is now pure.
Purity is not necessary. Displays are not necessary.
They said, Tommy Shelby. That door will need some kicking down.
When you walked through that door, it was open. You don't need to do anything to get my attention.
This is fucking brilliant, fellas. Now, Tommy, notice he's been leaned back the entire conversation. He hasn't leaned forward once. Earlier, you heard me say never lean forward. That is true, with one exception. If you've been leaning back the whole time, if you've been using the high status body language I've given you, if you've limited your attention, when you lean forward, you emphasize your point, right? You become extremely captivating because he's aloof, he hasn't given me any attention, he's not even interested, then you lean forward, they're hooked. It's the constant on and off. It's no attention, then you give the attention. What is rare is perceived as valuable. So his attention is rare. He's finally given it. It's incredibly valuable because it's rare. Next thing I want you to listen to is listen to how he speaks.
When you walked through that door, it was open. You don't need to do anything to get my attention.
This is typically how I speak in real life, right? This is how high-ranking men speak in real life. I'll give you a few tips. First thing is he has a monotone tonality, right? This is a characteristic of how high-ranking men speak. They don't fluctuate their voice. Why? Because they're always completely calm, they're always completely cool, they're always completely confident. Nothing phases them. As a rule, fellas, this is going to be controversial. In public, you should never display any signs of weaknesses. You should never display any signs of hurt. Why? No leader in the battlefield, no leader in public will ever show weakness to his followers. It's a fucking rule. The next thing I want you to listen for is when he speaks, he takes pauses in his sentences. This is, again, extremely confident. This is an extremely powerful tactic. A, when public speaking. B, when speaking to people in general. But C, when on dates with women. It's extremely seductive.
Now, what exactly do you want?
Do you have a match, Mr. Shelby?
Anything happens to my brother, Chang, you die.
What Chang has done here is what we call an advanced verbal dominance tactic. Now, what even is that? What Chang has done here is what we call a state-breaking question. This is a very fast way to regain dominance in any conversation. I use these literally every single day. Let's say someone says something you don't like. Let's say someone has a question for you that you don't want to answer. What do high-ranking men do? They just ask them a question back or say something that is completely off topic. And people If you're a high-ranking man, if you use the body language cues I gave you, they will comply and the conversation will change to you. Why is this important? You are now leading the scenario. You are now leading the conversation. People will perceive you as a leader when you use stake-breaking questions. You don't want to use these all the time. You want to use them sparingly. You want to use them for effect. These are very, very powerful on dates. Why? Because a cardinal rule of attraction is mystery. Mystery is one of the most powerful forces in the psychology of attraction. How do you create mystery? By simply revealing less about yourself. What if a woman asks you a question on the date? What do? You ask her a question back without answering. Fellas, if you want the advanced tactics, if you want the system that I have built from the ground up, that is scientifically proven to make any man attractive to women, where you can get all the advanced tactics, all the shit I can't talk about publicly, all the stuff I have that I've tested on hundreds of men, all you have to do is click the link in the description, watch the video on the page, and then fill in your contact information, and a member of my team will be in contact with you. If you like the sound of what I say in that video, and if you want to get access to my scientifically proven dating system that works for any man, with a few exceptions, that will make you respected by men and attracted to women. Or sorry, women will be attracted to you. It's been a long day, fellas. I will see you in the next one.